U.S. and Mexico officials holding talks yesterday to discuss how to slow the record pace of illegal crossings at the southern border. Mexican President Obrador telling Antony Blinken and Alejandro Mayorkas that migration will, quote, intensify as a massive migrant caravan of thousands heads towards our border, while Congress remains no closer to a deal on immigration reform. Meanwhile, Customs and Border Protection reporting the number of Chinese nationals illegally entering the United States just hit a new record high, with over 4,700 encounters for November alone. Joining me now is Texas Congressman Keith Self. He's a member of the House Veterans Affairs and Foreign Affairs Committees. He's also an Army Special Forces Lieutenant Colonel and retired. Congressman, good morning to you.
Good morning, Cheryl. Good to be with you.
So, especially from your vantage point as a congressman serving the state of Texas, do you believe that this meeting with Mayorkas and Blinken and the president of Mexico is going to lead to any meaningful change at the southern border?
Absolutely not. And you brought up the issue that Congress is wrestling with. How do we change the behavior of the Biden administration? They need to enforce the laws on the books. They need to do their job, or Mayorkas needs to resign.
All right. Well, I want to bring in Tiana Lodesher. We've already been talking about the border this morning. Tiana, go ahead.
We know that a central contention of these border negotiations is not just about the money, but the asylum policy that lets people come in with bogus claims and stay here for multiple years without a court date. But I do want to point out, I saw that you were tweeting about the Border Patrol backlog, saying that agents in Texas are outnumbered 200 to 1. Joe Biden has asked for about $14 billion in aid for the border and his Ukraine funding for border deal that his administration is currently stonewalling. Is $14 billion even enough to deal with this agent backlog, or is it more the policies of what the agents are allowed to do that is currently hamstringing our ability to enforce a secure border?
It is neither money nor policy nor new laws. It is simply the Biden administration refusal to obey the laws, to enforce the laws, to execute the laws that they swore to uphold. This is not a matter of money. It's not a matter of policy. This is a matter of them doing their job, period. The border is now totally uncontrolled. When you talk to people coming across the border, and reporters do it all the time, they don't talk about asylum anymore. They simply talk about, we want jobs in America. They're not even claiming asylum.
All right. You know, Secretary Blinken, let's stay with him, because he is announcing that the United States is going to provide $250 million in weapons and equipment for Ukraine. It's its final package for the year. Congressman, I want to get your reaction to all of this, because it seems like this fight over not just the Ukrainian funding, but also the overall funding package, the $106 billion package that the president is asking for. It seems that we are very, very far apart on any deal being made in Washington when you all come back from the recess.
Absolutely. I will tell you, first of all, this is a presidential drawdown authority. If the reports are correct, which means he is drawing down out of our stocks, taking from our military to send to Ukraine. And frankly, our defense industrial base cannot keep up with this. So this is, it's real simple. Secure the southern border, and we will talk about money for Ukraine. But I believe, and I will go out on a limb and say that I believe that this will only pass with Democrat votes and some Republicans that will refuse to hold the line. So this is a dangerous time for our border. It's no longer an invasion. This is now a tsunami coming across our southern border. We must secure the southern border, and Mayorkas, again, needs to resign.
But where are you and your colleagues right now with regards to the Ukraine funding? Because, you know, there's been a lot of pushback that we have just, you know, we can't keep this open spigot of money flowing to Ukraine, you know, a year now. I mean, we're coming up on the 2-year anniversary in February of the Ukraine-Russia war. There's been some reports that money has not been spent as it should have been by Ukrainian officials. There's that. And then obviously we've got the war in the Middle East as well now between Hamas and Israel. So, you know, where should the priorities be, and where do you stand on that Ukraine funding specifically?
Listen, I will go back to Speaker Johnson. He has been very clear that unless we get a change in behavior on the southern border, we start executing the laws of the United States, we will not take up the Ukraine funding.
Okay.
So I trust Speaker Johnson to hold to his word. I encourage him to do so because we must secure the southern border. So the priority for me is the southern border. It's our own border before we discuss the Ukrainian border.
Okay, thank you for clarifying. I do want to ask you about, let's stay with what's happening overseas, because officials have confirmed there's now been 106 attacks against U.S. forces in Iraq and Syria since October 17th, as U.S. forces have now shot down 17 Houthi missiles and drones in the Red Sea. This is attacks on our troops. And then Iran and Hamas are arguing now over who's going to take credit for the October 7th attack on Israel. And I want to pick up on that second question, because what I think is key here is Iran publicly taking responsibility for October 7th. Doesn't that change the whole conversation about how the United States should be dealing with Iran?
No, it really doesn't. We've known Iran was behind Hamas. It's behind the Houthis. It's behind the attacks in the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden. This is a dangerous time, and this is because of the weakness of the Biden administration overseas, starting with the withdrawal from Afghanistan. We continue to see it. In fact, our allies, not even many of our allies, are joining Operation Prosperity Guardian, which is the operation they're trying to do in the Gulf to protect commercial shipping. Shipping companies are going all the way around Africa because of the danger in the Gulf and the Red Sea. Yeah. No, this is continuing weakness in the Biden administration. We're seeing the results of it. It continues to just engulf the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that obviously this is something that we've been following over the holidays, is that the changes in the shipping route, that is routes that's going to affect everything, not just oil prices. Congressman Keith Self, Congressman, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
All right.